Sonya and Sasha, for real.
Hello, welcome to BRIMBANK Live and Live FM. We've got the Sonya and Sasha for real show. It's our favourite day, Friday, and happy NAIDOC week, Sasha.
Happy NAIDOC week. And did you also know it's Global Kindness Day as well? Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
So you can watch a horror movie tonight as well. It's a big day.
It's
big
a
week.
You know what I've loved this week? I've loved watching the celebrations of NAIDOC week and all of this beautiful, cultural history that we have in our country. It's so rich, it's so beautiful. Been listening to lots of stories, telling our kids stories, from Dreamtime and all over the, all of these amazing things. And we've got the best guest with us this morning, and we've got the coolest show ever. We've got Santa on later on.
Santa, he's going to be able to tell us everything that you need to know. COVID Santa rules. What's going on? When you visit Santa, how are you going to mask up? How do you social distance? I don't know if he comes into your house, what actually happens. And does Santa actually need to quarantine after travelling to each and every country around the world? That is the question of all questions. That's what I say.
It's the lowdown on the Santa stuff. And then we've got brilliant Kaisha Masala, who is the winner of last year's NAIDOC Award for Youth. She's incredible. Oh my God, I've been playing her new song over and over again, which we're going to play.
I've been playing her stuff as well. Oh, she is incredible. That's been I've been over and over and over this morning in the whole school run was Kaisha all over it.
And then we've got Dion, who runs Darky's Design. So we're going to have a chat with him. But this morning, first up, we've got our beautiful friend, Isaiah Firebrace, who's coming to join us.
Hello! Woo, woo!
Hey, beautiful soul. Oh my God. You have to, I know I'm going to sound like an oldie, but you're growing up. You're growing up.
It's what happens.
Gorgeous. I know. Well, not for Sonya and I. We're still 23 and a half. Sonya's a half a year older than me. So it's really, that's all that matters. So, but you're nearly our age. What has happened with that?
You guys have known me for like a few years now. And
yes.
I mean, the facial hair is really telling that I am getting older, but I don't know. It's been really cool. I'm glad to have you guys on the journey.
Oh, thank you. How have you been? How have you been during COVID lockdown?
Oh, it's honestly, I've been like so up and down, like emotionally, with work. It's been like, I did The Masked Singer and that was like good and crazy. And I was on that for a few weeks. And then like after that, like went back to doing like very not much things. So it's very up and down.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a year for me to really kind of like reflect a lot on the last few years and reflect on myself as a person and my career and stuff. A lot of like soul searching. So it was really well needed, I think.
Oh, you know what? That's exactly what's happened for everybody. I think that we've all done a little bit of soul searching because we're forced into it. Like we've been forced to actually just and think, what am I going to do? And I think every single person has, focused on something like that. And it's been tough. Like it has. And I thank you for being really honest with that, because I'm sure that through social media and through everybody's life, everyone thinks, oh, you seem to be coping really well with it and you're perfect. But the truth is we've all had those ups and downs through this time.
Yes, that's so true. And actually that's something that, I was like thinking about, like just speaking of like social media, everyone's not as happy as they think they are. But it was, like I said, a time for me to really grow a lot and kind of mature with certain things. And I feel like now that things are opening back up, like it feels good that I coming out of that, feeling stronger and better. So it's exciting for next year.
Yes, fresh start.
Yeah, and no COVID for next year, no lockdown. We can't do it. We can't do another lockdown. We're gonna just tell the world, listen, you can do the lockdown, but we aren't. We're not into
Let's
it.
just all hire an RV. We can be gypsies. We can do the show in an RV by the beach, travel around Australia.
Yeah,
we can run away from COVID.
Yes, we can. So what have you been doing with NAIDOC week?
This year, this NAIDOC week this year, I feel has been like so engaged with so many people. Like I feel like Australia is really supporting NAIDOC week this week, and I'm not sure if that's from like Black Lives Matter Black Lives Matter process that's been happening lately. But I don't know, I feel like this year, like I could just really notice that everyone's really celebrating and really recognizing and acknowledging, and it feels really, really good.
Oh, I love that.
Did you go to the protests in Melbourne, Isaiah?
I did, and I was a bit nervous because, you know, it was like around the time where all the COVID stuff was happening, but I was like, I've never been to a protest, and I feel so proud standing up for once in my life for something that I believe in.
Totally felt the same way. I actually took my boys along to the protest, and you know, we masked up and we kept our distance, and I think most people did. You know, you saw that everyone was being, you know, pretty respectful.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wanted my boys to see that this is a part of history and this is important, and, you know, we should all know about what's going on and right our wrongs, and, you know, and be aware and respectful. And it was such, I cried, you know, the emotion involved in that.
Yeah. It was
incredible, wasn't it?
It was intense. And yeah, just like, yeah, even like the Black Lives Matters things that happened this year, like it's been such a crazy year. Hey, very emotional on so many different levels. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what do you think? Because you've just done. So this is the wrap. This is a sheet of accomplishments that you've had just in the last few little years since we've known you, Isaiah.
The sheet.
Won 8th season of the X Factor in 2016. Performed at
Eurovision. That was huge when you performed at Eurovision.
Woo, that was huge. Like that was so much pressure, and like just the scale of like the production and the scale of just what was happening, you know, it was like worldwide. I just couldn't believe that I was doing that. And, you know, coming off the back of X Factor, like, and then going into that was just like, whew, that was crazy. That was a crazy time.
Do you ever have you had to pinch yourself every now and then and go, oh my God, like you're not even 21 yet, and pinch yourself and say,
see, this is what I mean.
Experience.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. Like this year has been so important for me to actually like stop and think about like all that stuff that's happened to me, because, you know, I come from like a very different life to the life that I have now. So it's taken me this long to really, you know, absorb it all and really take it all in. So that's why I felt really grateful for this year as well, because, you know, I've had the time to really think, wow, I actually did that. You know, like it actually happened, and it's given me more clarity on where I want to go in the future and things like that. So
where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
It's more like as an artist and what I want to say as an artist and my identity. I think that's been a huge thing like this year, is really figuring out like who I am and what I want to say.
Yeah, love that. And you're doing such different things as well. You're you know, you just came off The Masked Singer. You were the wizard. And you know, I mean, that's just crazy. And then you're writing a children's book called The Purple Platypus as well. Like you want to talk about, and you say, tell us about that. What's the premise behind Purple Platypus?
So The Purple Platypus, you know, like I love education, and I love working with youth and kids and stuff. And like back in high school, I actually did like teacher's aid course, and I was working in primary schools and for about 2 years.
Wow.
Like getting my certificate. So like working with kids and stuff is something that I love doing. And then tying in, you know, things about equality and, you know, believing in yourself and having hope for yourself. It really kind of seemed appropriate to do a children's book about a purple platypus who is a purple platypus, and he's not like all the other animals in the, you know, and he feels different, and he feels like he doesn't fit in. But then he meets a yellow wombat who also feels the same way, and together they realize their differences make them, you know, special, and that they feel empowered together, and they become the most popular two animals in the whole area. So it's a good story about just like, you know, accepting yourself for who you are and realizing that your differences can actually be what makes you powerful. So it's a good thing for kids too, and I'm sure that they'll love it. And because my dad's an artist, I want to get him to help with the illustrations too. So it's a cool project to kind of work on.
I love that. I love
that. That's so good, because then you know, we're all bringing in your family and doing stuff together.
Yeah.
Everybody expects everyone to fit in, you know, especially at school. It's just like, don't stand out, don't fit, you know, you're going to be thought of as weird or whatever. But then when you get out of school, the entire world expects you to be original and different and unique. It's so weird.
That is so funny that you're the first person to actually pinpoint that, because that's something that I struggled with so much, you know, in primary school, but especially in high school was, you know, like feeling that who I wanted to be and my dreams was so different from everybody at my school. And then being someone of color, like I just felt like out of place.
Yeah.
And I felt like that those differences made me feel like, you know, that I didn't deserve to, you know, get to where I am today. And I remember, in high school, like just always feeling different and not, you know, really fitting in. And then always just having this passion for music and singing that I felt so deeply that I knew that none of the other students, you know, had such a passion for something like I did, you know, and I just felt like I was destined for bigger things. And I remember in year 8, I did my first performance in front of my school and they were all on their feet. And that was the moment I realized that that's what I wanted to do.
I just got chills. That's great. It's so good.
Yeah. So it really ties in personally to, like, you know, my personal life. So yeah,
of course. And that's, you know, when we go into school, Sasha and I see that, we call them the, you know, the special ones. We can see, you know, there's something just different about that young person there. And they've got this fire in their eyes and they look you, you know, in the eye and they use your name and they shake your hand. You could feel it. You can just feel it. It's just, and then they're the ones that, you know, they're going to be the change makers, you know, because they've just got that special thing.
Yeah. I think having good support around you and stuff. And in school, like my teachers and stuff were great with me. And it was all very much like mental battles with me, you know, like, and things like that. But, you know, I'm a testament to that Purple Platypus story, you know, your differences make you special. Yeah.
Oh, we love it. We're so happy.
So what do you want to write your music about? Like, what's some of the things that you want to talk about, you know, you want to write about in your music?
Like I kind of want to just step away. I mean, like pop music, right? Like it's hard to kind of navigate it because there are, you know, I don't know, it's just a whole different world, you know, being in like the pop industry. But I do want to write more songs just about my life, my experiences, you know, things that have happened to me. Like I want to share my personal life story through my music. I want people to connect more with me, you know, past like the songs about love and heartbreak, but more about the songs that make me who I am.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
You're just a gorgeous soul. Love you. And and love the fact that we've been able to see you through this journey. Like that's really special for us to have been able to watch you grow up and still watch you grow up. You know, because it's beautiful, and just even being able to say, like, you can really just see that you're growing up and you're coming into yourself and kind of finding your own values and finding your own from where you want to go.
I'm trying to do that at the moment, so it's been hard, but it's
I'm
good.
45, Hosea. I'm still trying. Do you know what I mean? So there's a long way, but the fact that you're on that journey, that you're really asking the right questions, is incredible. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No,
Thanks
that's right.
for being on the show with us today. We wish you every success, happiness, and, you know, and we're always on your team. We think you're incredible. Thank you for being with us today.
Oh, you are the best. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We love you. We love you. We'll see you after the break. BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. This is the Sonya and Sasha For Real show. You're listening to BRIMBANK Live and Live FM. This is the Sonya and Sasha For Real show. Friday, our favourite day, NAIDOC week. And we've already had the beautiful Isaiah Firebrace. We've got Santa later on, Dion from Darky's Design. And we've got the most beautiful, amazing, gorgeous guest next. But before we do that, I really want to do the Ode to Country. Can you help me out with this, Stash?
Okay. All right. Okay. So it's Happy NAIDOC week first.
Happy NAIDOC week to you. And
I
want to say it, okay? Because I've been practicing. I don't want to disrespect anybody, so please don't get it wrong. But are you ready?
Hey, Sonya, you know, you do a really good in Italian impersonation of me sometimes, right? So, you know, you can come up with those words. So
all right, here we go.
I'm facing you right now.
Okay, because the land on which we're broadcasting is BRIMBANK, and BRIMBANK lies within the area occupied by the
hang on, and right at that moment you freeze, and it's like, no, I was like, okay,
so BRIMBANK lies in the area occupied by the Karanjung Balak and Maran Balak clans of the Wurundjeri people, also known as the Woiwurrung language group, who form part of the larger Kulin nation. We pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging.
Oh, you good girl. That was good girl. That was good girl.
Now, I want to tell you about this girl next to who is our guest, because I'm telling you, I've been stalking her all week. This is how we get our guests. How do we get our guests, Sasha?
We stalked them. Except for Isaiah, right? Except for Isaiah. We stalked him when he was a young child.
He's our little brother. You know, he's a little brother.
Yeah, but we stalked him from a child.
And now everyone knows when you come on our show, you come into the circle of our family. So now we have a new sister. So I want to tell you about this incredible woman, because I can't stop listening to her music, number one.
Me either.
Her vibes. Oh, my God. And I love
it. Love her vibes. I've been listening to all of it. How Deep Is Your Love? She just kills the BGs. Like, absolutely. Like, she rocks this song. Like, it's like a whole new level. My Kaisha, can you come to our show? Sonia and Sasha for real. Give her a big massive round of applause, you beautiful girl.
Welcome. I feel like I'm part of the family now. I love this.
Oh, you are.
Well, once you come in, you can't go out. That's what happens.
It's like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Nobody ever goes in, nobody ever goes out. And can we get Isaiah back? We need you back, Isaiah. Where are you going? Come back.
I'm back. I'm here.
Now, wait a minute. Let me just give you this proper introduction, because, my God, 2019 NAIDOC Awards Youth of the Year. Ding. Proud Darumbal Murray and Tongan woman. Ding. Ding. This is the medium of song to share strength and hope and celebrate the unbreakable ancient connections we have with each other and our culture.
Oh, wow.
And it's so true. First Indigenous, there's more. First Indigenous Australian woman to be accepted into the Clive Davis. Whitney Houston.
Yeah. Woo! I've got goosebumps.
You
I
can
didn't even know that.
Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, Barry Manilow, Alicia Keys.
Oh my gosh.
Clive Davis just made their careers, and she's been accepted, first Indigenous Australian woman to be accepted into the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music in our favourite second home in the world, New York City.
Wow.
We're so happy to have you here.
That's a resume and a half, girlfriend.
And she's stunning. So, you need to log on. And once you've listened to our show, you need to log on to the Zoom, like the podcast, because all right.
What a welcome. You guys you have my whole resume there.
Yeah, we stalked you. Don't worry. We know.
We're good
now I know who to call to be my hype woman.
Both of us.
That's it, yes. And we fit into one suitcase and we go to New York regularly. We'll find our own accommodation. We're okay.
Now, Kaisha, last year, Sasha and I went to New York. We went to Central Park, and we had no idea that there was this massive concert going on at the time. And Sasha and I have this very special connection to Alicia Keys. I would have her children, literally. And we were in Central Park, and I can hear this voice, and all of a sudden realized it was my girl. So we get on one of those taxi bike things, and I'm like, get me to wherever that music is. You get me there right now, sir. And he was like, all right. And so we go to this concert. Anyway, we sit down and we literally bawl our eyes out and hold on to each other, because Alicia's singing with her.
Oh my gosh.
And when I listen to your music, Kaisha Masala, that's where you.
I love that. I love that makes me, that her reminds you of me, because she is phenomenal. And Alicia Keys is the reason why I do music.
And can I just say, you actually look a little bit like her as well. You've got that, you do. You look a little bit like her.
So we're on the ground holding on to each other, and if I ain't got you's she's singing in the background and hers on the guitar, and I'm like, this could not get better unless we actually got ourselves into that concert. But there was people with machine guns, so we couldn't try that. But your music is just another level, girl, and you're killing it. Like you're performing these amazing gigs in front of the Aussies that are in New York. And how was the last gig that you played? Tell us about that, because there was some pretty important people in the audience and you're up there just doing your thing. What happened?
Yeah. So I remember I had just arrived in New York, first semester, freshie, no idea what's going on, and got this random email in my inbox saying, hey, we know that you're an Aussie performing and studying in New York at the moment. Are you available this date to come and perform at our event?
Oh.
And so this is me just thinking, sure, it's fine. Like, this is just like an Aussie event. It's going to be great. I have my song prepared. But they weren't actually allowed to tell me who was going.
Oh, what?
So I rocked up on the day, I had my little outfit, my song rehearsed, and then I was sitting down at my dinner table, you know, just waiting for guests to arrive. Next minute, Kylie Minogue walks in, Zendaya walks in, Jacob Elordi walks in, like all these people, models walk in.
What?
Oh my God.
And I almost died. I think
I just had goosebumps. Oh my God.
I know.
I went to the bathroom. I pretended I was in the mirror doing my makeup, but really I was just telling myself in my head, play it cool, take deep breaths, take deep breaths. But yeah, it was cool. And like, I got to perform my original songs in front of them and just represent my culture and Australia. And it was just the best. I had such a fun time.
Wow.
Oh, good job. Hey, I don't mean to be a producer here, but when are you guys going to come together and put a song together? Like do a little bit of a duet?
I was just about to say, wait, because do you guys know that we were on the same season?
Yes.
Of X
Yes.
Factor?
We just found out today.
Yeah.
So baby Kaisha and baby Isaiah,
Yes.
like, you know,
Yes.
two only indigenous people on the show, just like two of the youngest people on the show as well. So that was great.
Yes, and I remember hearing Kaisha sing. I think he sang a Rihanna song.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that voice. And then I've been like in contact with your mom and your family, and like, I've been watching like things that you're doing, and then to hear that you're doing all that stuff, it makes me like, wow, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you.
I feel the same.
That's so good.
It's like I was saying to the girls before, like the Indigenous community is so small, and like you just see people and you just meet people, and you know that's how it is. So very grateful for that sense of community and, you know, the friendships and brotherhood and sisterhood that you're able to create through that.
Yeah, it's so special, and like it's just, you deserve to like be doing what you're doing and so much more. So it's great. It's so good.
Ditto.
I love that you guys are having this conversation right now. Like
I know we haven't talked in
we haven't seen each other in ages.
This is a rare we're reconnecting here. That's so awesome. Yeah. You need to say hi to your mom and your sister as well.
I will.
So if you two end up recording something together, we need to be in the studio because we kind of made it happen. If you know.
Yeah.
So
in the credits.
We actually should. Like, we actually really should try and like do something like if either a cover or.
Are you kidding? Your two voices together? Are you kidding right now? Absolutely.
I've already got ideas.
Can you imagine? Could you imagine what Australia's going to do? And it becomes the national song for NAIDOC week next week. I'm just putting it down as the song. You know what I mean? And then that's what we always will be, always was. That's all I can say.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Do you know, when we first just were thinking about putting the show together for NAIDOC week, you know, we thought there's so many things that are always done every time NAIDOC week is, you know, celebrated. And we were like, no, we want to do something different. We want to, you know, showcase the young leaders in the next generation, the people who would take us to the next, you know, level and in celebrating and understanding culture and, you know, where it goes and, you know, the voice of the young people, which is why we're on the show today. What does NAIDOC week mean to you, Kaisha?
Honestly, like since I was little, it's always been a week to celebrate my culture, my community, but also a really cool opportunity to reach out to the broader Australian community as well and kind of include everybody in this celebration because, you know, as much as we love celebrating ourselves with our community, we kind of do that every week. So to have like a special week where we can like reach out to all Australians and be like, hey, come and look at how incredible our cultures are. And we want to share that with you guys.
Yeah.
And Isaiah was saying before that he's seen like there's a bit of a different vibe this year, right? What do you think?
I totally agree. Like, I think particularly through the Black Lives Matter movement, there's been a whole lot of educating and learning that's been happening in a lot of homes across the nation. And I think people have kind of lost that prejudice that Indigenous people are this separate kind of different group from Australian society. And people have kind of realized that, we're in your communities, we're in your suburbs, like we're part of, this beautiful country that is Australia, and we are the First Nations people, and that's something that we want to celebrate with all people. And so I think that there's just been a shift in heart and people's spirit, and they kind of realize that, Indigenous people aren't, trying to like point a finger and, cause any kind of tension. We want people to be on this journey of reconciliation and working towards a better Australia together. And we want, we need allies. We need other people outside of our community, because we're a small group of people and we're strong, but we really do need all Australians to help us on this journey.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's almost like we've been able to see for myself, what I've, in the change through NAIDOC week over the years is, it was really before it was just about even recognising that. And so kind of like saying when you're saying Black Lives Matter, it was really just saying, just let me feel like we matter, to now I kind of feel like we're even celebrating. So it's kind of, like it's really come from just remind me that we matter to now everybody's getting behind it and going, okay,
yeah. And like, this year's theme as well, always was, always will be, like, acknowledges, like wherever you are in Australia, you're on Aboriginal land. Like the land that you live on, it just holds so much history and energy, and the local stories and the people hold so much wisdom. And we don't want that to be wasted. Like, we want to share that with people, and we want that to continue on. And so I think that's been a really special part of this year, is like people are actually wanting to listen, and they feel like they can celebrate with the Indigenous communities, and they feel equipped to learn about Australia's history and what we can do moving forward to make it a more inclusive country and government.
So true.
And I love that, because really, my son this year, homeschooling, which meant I became Teacher 101, was learning about different parts of Victoria and different parts of Melbourne. And one of the things was learning about the Botanical Gardens and its history. And I kind of went back, and it was, like something like, the early 1800s about the Botanical Gardens. And I kind of went, what was going on this land before? Like these white people came over and took over. There must have been something going on there. Yet it was really difficult to find. It was almost like history only started in the Botanical Gardens that moment when, this dude went, this looks like a good swamp. I reckon I'll take over, make it something really, make it something different. But then we went and looked back, and there's this whole other history of just what the Botanical Gardens meant. And then there was all the history of how the white people actually took over the Botanical Gardens and the awful things that they did. And yet, even when we looked up the Botanical Gardens, the history of that only started just at that moment. And so it really then made me think, we really need to look back further. It just doesn't start right now. And I think that schools are doing this much better than they've ever done it before, to actually start to look back. Like they're really looking back much, much further. And I think I'm really happy that our children are being educated, because, like, when I was at school, I didn't know anything about this, nothing. Like, to where it is now, like, my kids kind of take it like, how can you not know this stuff, Mum? I'm like, I didn't know.
Great. That's like exactly what Indigenous people and allies have been fighting for decades, for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And so to have that kind of, that, I guess, reward or that result finally kind of show itself is like one of the few times that we ever get to see something major like that happen in our country, So I think that's so special that young people are feeling like they're included and part of this beautiful culture that really represents a lot of Australians' different stories, because everyone is living on Aboriginal land.
Isaiah, you were saying you've got an idea, like, about what schools should teach about Indigenous culture. What's your idea? Because you've got a bit of a thing going on out there, haven't you?
Yeah, I started, well, because I love education, and I think education is like so important for everybody. And I love working with kids as well. I thought that I wanted to start a change.org petition to try and, I don't know, raise awareness or something about getting into the education system more Aboriginal studies, Aboriginal history, Aboriginal culture, either compulsory or, elective subject. I think like that's been such a big dream of mine ever since I was young, because I remember when I was in primary school, like the Indigenous students would have to go off separately and do stuff, cultural stuff and things like that. But I would always think like, why can't we just all do it with the classroom? Why can't my class learn about that as well?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been something that I've always thought about wanting to happen. That's one of my big dreams, is to see that be in the education system. Yeah, like Aboriginal studies or Aboriginal culture, Aboriginal history. I think it'll be really important, and teaching Australia about the true history will only gain so much depth to the spirit of this country.
Well, we're learning about Burke and Wills, right? So we can learn about that. Do you know what I mean? So much richer, and Banjo Patterson and all of that. Like, imagine if we opened it up. I know one of the things that I'm really proud of is that my kids, they do RE at school, and but as part of their RE, they constantly look at it from Dreamtime as well. So whenever they're looking at it, it's an Anglican school, but they also do lots of Dreamtime stuff. And I love it that it's their second nature. They're constantly talking about it. I love the fact that the education system has changed. So imagine where it's going to be in the next 20 years.
Yeah, it's super exciting. Yeah, I really want to see that happen.
And it's way cooler. I'd rather hear about a serpent that became a rock than Burke and friggin' Wills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like these are amazing stories with about an amazing country. Like, why are people afraid of learning, or what? People should just, it's really good. I think people would just enjoy it so much, I think.
Yeah.
Kaisha, can you tell us what's next for you, Kaisha?
So I'm currently still studying my undergraduate degree over in New York, just doing it by correspondence. So been keeping on with that, and it's been crazy meeting some really cool people, professors, making music, and also releasing some stuff by the end of this year. So
woo!
Good job.
This new song, brand new. You just wait, people. You just wait. It's so good. It's so good. Do you know what? I'm so happy that you both came on the show today. We are so proud of both of you. We've just met you, Kaisha, our little brother Isaiah, but I tell you that the making Indigenous voices louder in our country is in good hands with you two, with both of you. So thank you so much for being a part of our show today. You are now our family. You can't leave ever. So so we wish you all the very best, and we need to take a break, but thank you for being with us today, Isaiah Vibrace and Kaisha Masala. Get onto their social media, listen to their music, support our Indigenous rock stars in our country. So
thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
You guys.
Thanks so much. Big love.
You're listening to BRIMBANK Live on Live FM. This is the Sonya and Sacha For Real show. We'll be back after the break.
Sonya and Sacha, For Real.